Say Sonic, let's go for a swim in this ocean tropical setting. Well, if I have to be honest for this point, Knuckles, I just do not like swimming in water. Why is that? Because I don't know how do I supposed to swim in the first place. Although, to be fair, Sonic, we are still playing a game after all. Oh, right, exactly. Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is I am the one and only Sonic the Hedgehog here, aka the Blue Blur, aka Blue Justice. And I am Knuckles the Echidna, in some cases an Echidna Warrior here. And we are back for the likes of the Mexi Toys videos once again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more Let's Play of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Nintendo Wii U / Nintendo Switch. So, last time we have basically concluded everything for the sake of Bright Savannah, and today for this video is about the fact that we're going to be continuing things on and move on to the fourth world, known as Sea Breeze Cove. And as the world suggests, we're going to be swimming a lot in this world. So meaning about the fact that the first level we're going to be dive right into in terms of World 4, that's what appears to be Deep Keep. And as a result, like what Knuckles has already stated this before, we have to do a lot of swimming, meaning about the fact that there's going to be a lot of puzzle pieces we're about able to expect to find, or other times though we accidentally miss them due to the forms of, I will have to be honest for this point, Knuckles, as well, that out of all the actual worlds in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, as far as what I did manage to play this on my own time, not just by the forms of the original Wii U version, but also with the Switch re-release as well, I will admit, World 4 is by far my least favorite world in the game. Nothing bad or anything, it's just about the fact that there's going to be a lot of backtracking involved, and on top of that, in one of those levels in particular, that does manage to require us to able to deal with a lot of like slow movements and stuff like that, which I'm not exactly sure how to explain about this specific stuff though, because I don't seem to remember this world as much. Although, to be fair though, Sonic, at the very least we can able to actually explore through one of those specific sections that we might able to actually recognize the actual theme soundtrack for those if you ever played the original Donkey Kong Country before. Like, to be more specifically, the first game, right? Well, yes, exactly. So, but either way, puzzle piece right up there. So just to ensure you pretty much know exactly what that is. So, I mean, yeah, for the most part though, it's about the fact that we can able to actually expect to able to not only try to find every single Kong letters for each and every single levels, but also with the forms of every single, like, well, there might be a few occasional moments that, like what Sonic has already said, that we might able to actually missing some of those puzzle pieces to find, but we'll try our best if we're able to actually just to go ahead and try to find them as much as we can, so, but we shall see, so. And also keep this in mind though, is about the fact that since we're going to be in underwater the whole way through, for the majority of the world itself, meaning about the fact that we have to keep on grabbing air bubbles just to survive, you know, just in case if we don't drown in any of those underwater levels. So, anyways, a few things we want to talk about this while this is happening is that, well, today's date is of course the 23rd of January today, in some cases in 2024 today. We are getting pretty close to not only able to actually finishing up the entire portion of the sake of the forms of how the fact that, well, what I've heard anyway is about the fact that I'm pretty sure that me and Knuckles are almost feeling a bit better at this point, even though there might be a couple of times though our voice sounds a bit off still. Yeah, tell me about it, Knuckles, because it's especially noticeable about the fact that, thankfully though, the entire Let's Play of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze so far, doesn't get delayed, unlike the forms of the other two playthroughs at this point. Well, despite the fact that, you know, recently Ray the Flying Squirrel, he's now finally back on doing Super Mario Bros. Wonder at long last, so at least potentially speaking though, he actually got some bit of progressioning now, and as a result, he's almost basically done with the forms of Super Mario Bros. Wonder before we move along to the forms of the next set of Mario Let's Plays in the future. We're not exactly sure when exactly though, or what specific Mario games we would like to tackle through next, after Super Mario Bros. Wonder, but let me know in the comments down below if you want to suggest us about something. So, we're probably not going to do any redo Let's Plays for the time being, because obviously no matter what though, it just gets a little bit of a waste of opportunity when it comes to likely, like for example, I don't think it's possible we can able to do a redo Let's Play of Mario Party 9 now, mainly because the amount of views we've got is so tremendously high, especially concerning of one of those minigame modes, like Step It Up for example. And on top of that, with the forms of the extra modes as well, like Shell Soccer, as well as the forms of Perspective mode, and I think that's as far as we can think about it. So even then though, oh yeah, there's also another thing we honestly forgot to mention about. Well, technically speaking though, that Ray the Flying Squirrel has also forgot to mention about this as well. It's been 2 days ago since not only one of those games did manage to able to celebrate its 25th anniversary just recently in Japan, but also with the 30th anniversary also recently as well. And those 2 games are, questioning in mind, which are Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64, and the other, which is the forms of Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. Well, to be more specifically, Wario Land 1, Super Mario Land 3 for the Game Boy. So, yeah, potentially speaking though, because no matter what though, we're really hoping that Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64 will be expected to be coming on the NSO expansion pack by now. Well, we'll just have to wait and find out, Knuckles, especially concerning for the fact that after all, it's one of those early stages of able to actually going back onto the forms of the YouTube swing and things. In fact, kind of thinking about it though, Sonic, is about the fact that I just thought it was a little bit odd when it comes to likely going back onto, you know, uploading some things on YouTube from our perspective. Although, except the fact no matter what though, unlike in the past years, specifically for instance in let's just say 2019, 2021, as well as 2022, that basically though, sometimes we always have managed able to have 3 days off in regards to the forms of the lack of uploading schedules for our channel, whilst compared to the forms of in 2023, that we occasionally got ourselves a couple of uploading schedule break, for likely, for instance, like 6 days off, like 3 days off in sometime in spring, and then the other 3 days off for the sake of the forms of sometime in almost the ending conclusion of summer, at least as far as I'm aware. But this time around though, Knuckles, in this year so far, that we somehow stumbled across into 3 days off for uploading schedules department because of the forms of, you know, we got COVID positive for the 2nd time, and it's just not very fun. I found it was incredibly boring. Well, to be quite frank though, Sonic, we do need a couple of rests until we're able to actually fully recover ourselves after we somehow discovered this while we had a conversation, didn't we, with Ray the Flying Squirrel during that time. Yeah, I suppose that might be somewhat passable on that front, but still, no matter what though, at least it's getting there for not just by the forms of the continuing progression for the sake of the forms of not only for this game, but also with the forms of Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and hopefully by that time, once we get to this weekend coming up, hopefully though, that Pac-Man and Silver the Hedgehog will definitely go back onto WarioWare, get it together, at least potentially without any further delays. So, and we really truly sorry about the forms of the lack of uploading schedules ever since in during the forms of like what Ray the Flying Squirrel has already said this before, the lack of uploading schedules are not only on Friday the 19th, but also with Saturday the 20th and Sunday 21st, just because we're still on the forms of one of those annoying process of able to actually cope with this dangerous threat. So, but at least as far as I could usually tell for this point, so because of that, I'm hoping that Eggman is not involved in this, which, if he does so already, I'm going to seriously kick his butt. Well, truth be told though, Sonic, is about the fact that at least we don't have to worry about him for right now, so at least he's not planning for those specific evil schemes for the time being, so yeah, that's saying something, I suppose, but either way, I get the strong sense of feeling, and as you can tell, that we're now going to be able to have Cranky Kong with us, because, if you couldn't tell already, you can able to actually use Cranky's stick to able to act out as the actual sword attack weapon, and you can able to actually attack enemies with it, so, pretty cool though. Even though, mind you, you have to be so dang close for that specific attack range. So, but apart from those side things though, Knuckles, is about the fact that we did pretty well so far when it comes to finding certain puzzle pieces. So, I get the feeling that this particular stage does contain the secret exit, which hopefully we'll save that up until for later. And this also applies in one of those secret levels as well, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, but then again though, Knuckles, we'll save those and during at some point until on Thursday sometime, so... Alright, so we have to dodge those urchins and grab the G, and dang it, we've lost Cranky Kong. But at the very least though, there is actually a secret down there. And we can able to grab, you know, the rest of the forms of the bananas, and you probably name the rest of it though, so... So let's just say we're able to succeed by this. No! Oh, dang it! Oh, that's even worse, because no matter what though, we can't take a death or just restart the level because that specific current is too strong. So, yeah, we'll have to come back for it later. Alright. I have no idea why I just did that earlier, because no matter what though, I just get the strong sense of feeling that the more I've experienced certain bonus areas, like sometimes they repeated itself, just like the forms of how it does it on Donkey Kong Country Returns, I just somehow, for some reason, just seems to have struggled with some of them. But either way, let's move on to the next level, which is 4-2, High Tide Ride. So, yeah, I suppose no matter what though, it's about the fact that we can able to expect to go into maybe a minecart level, because the last time we've actually experienced a minecart level was back in, I would say in Sensen World 2, if I'm assuming so correctly. So, yeah, High Tide Ride, indeed. So, anyways, right from the start though, I see there was a barrel down there, which pretty much leads us to the bonus area, I'm pretty sure. And sure enough, it is. So we'll grab onto these vines once again, so we can able to grab, of course, some more bananas. So, apparently some people seem to find the actual repetition for those types of bonus areas a little bit repetitive at one point, but I'm sure we'll try able to just classify for notice that, assuming if we do manage to bring Dixie Kong with us, it'll make the entire process a lot more easier and self-explanatory, but still. But either way, at the very least, we did somehow succeed this one, unlike the forms of how it does it on, you know, the previous level, so... Anyways, let's get into the minecart now, and we can able to grab the K from here. And I get the feeling there was gonna be... Wow. Oh, there's a puzzle piece down there! Oh, I'll just take a death here. Because if we dare manage to activate the checkpoint right after we've missed that puzzle piece, then obviously we'll have to come back for it later. But good thing we did somehow manage to take a death right there, because obviously we need to desperately want to get that puzzle piece so badly. So, although eventually at some point, Sonic is about the fact that certain puzzle pieces, like we've already established that before, gets a lot more difficult to obtain. Mainly the ones in Journey forms towards the end game. My god, you have to be so specific than that. Oh, I see what you mean. I love this camera perspective right down there, especially considering for the fact it almost kind of reminds us of able to experience the roller coaster in the amusement parks. And this is where we get ourselves a cool aspect about the forms of this stage, is that you can able to go from rail to rail by simply able to actually press the left button or the right D-pad, or just tilt the control sticks left or right, and just use the jump button at the same time, so that way you can able to actually hop into one of those different railings and such. So, pretty cool on my ad, especially considering for the fact that we able to experience the sea. Well, I will say is about the fact that certain dynamic views like this, for instance, it almost feels a lot more cinematic vibes, especially concerning for the fact that, well, for those of you probably wondering about the fact that, well, as far as we can able to also suggest about something about this as well, I suppose we should probably able to discuss upon things, is that, while looking back in Journey forms of the first Super Smash Bros. Game for the Nintendo 64, after 25 years since when it first came out, in Japan at the very least, despite we still don't have the Japanese N64. But regardless of anything else though, Sonic, we're still able to get ourselves our regular Nintendo 64. Usually only runs in PAL regions. So, yeah, because basically though, while looking it back on it, even today, it's actually a really dang good game. Even though nowhere near is like perfect compared to the forms of the follow-up sequels, just because they did somehow manage to expand upon quite a number of things when it comes to future games in the series, like Melee, Brawl for the 3DS and for the Wii U, and Ultimate. But regardless of anything else though, speaking of Ultimate though, we've decided able to take a break on that game for a while, mainly because we've already somehow claimed ourselves, you know, some new spirits, which is pretty obvious, based off of the forms of the future Nintendo Switch games up to this point, which are basically based off from the likes of some of these games from 2022, and some of these games from 2023. Like, for instance, with 2022, with Splatoon 3, as well as Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and for 2023, we've noticed that with the forms of some games like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and finally Pikmin 4, even though, again, there was no way that the Mario Wonder spirits will ever come, which is kind of unfortunate. Well, at least maybe potentially they'll try to add that during a later time, but it's so difficult to tell at this point, because, again, it's been, like, you know, quite a few days since we've last uploaded something, as you probably already expect, up until now anyway, so... Ah, dang it! But that's okay though, because we've somehow already got the checkpoint, so... I suppose that makes it a little bit obvious for this point, Knuckles. And I get the strong feeling that we might be missing something once again, such as that particular puzzle piece, so... But then again, no, we'll try to able to find that once we've complete the entire world first. Oh, jeez. I have no fast reaction timing right there. But regardless of such though, we've made it. We've made it to the end. So I don't think there's anything else onto that side, so... Oh, so close for a button mash sequence. Oh well, no big deal. But at the very least, we've got all the Kong letters at the very least, so that should be all pretty swell. And of course, we're missing one puzzle piece, but still, we'll be back for that later, so... Alright, so let's see what's up next then. So it looks like we stumbled across into, let's just say, another water level. Oh, jeez, water? Again? But anyway, 4-3 and Miss Abyss. So it looks like we might come across into a gimmick where basically I'm pretty sure that we might able to actually stumble across into a water level that basically just features like a darky gloominess to it. So yeah, we'll try to able to figure something out for ourselves. So, and it seems to be more specifically, it's almost like a silhouette kind of level, just like the forms of how it does it since back in World 1. So it's pretty cool at the very least though, especially concerning for the fact that, oh, I just realized about something for this point, is that, do you know with the forms of one of those levels that we've already did, for, dang it, I got stung by a jellyfish. But oh well, no big deal, because we still got loads of extra lives, so, still, very generous enough, so, at the very least that the actual lives system does not reset if you do manage to switch off the game and turn it back on again, so, at the very least, you know, it's something. We're also able to risk ourselves to get the K though by getting stung by the I'm not exactly sure what these things are called exactly, because we don't know exactly for sure about the aquarium stuff as much as we do, so at least I know for you, Sonic, that you despised going to underwater, you know? Yeah, because I don't have no idea how I'm supposed to swim that way, because unlike you, Knuckles, you did somehow swim very well, especially concerning you and Echidna after all, but still, I just don't get it if my swimming skills somehow lacks. Oh well, though. Of course, we have to watch out for these puff fishes here and there, so we're really expecting that we're also able to get our Kong member at the very least, though, hopefully, so... Anyways, let's grab these bananas here to... hopefully revealed a next puzzle piece. What do you expect? Oh jeez, we need to find 9 of these things. Oh jeez. I don't know how much we might be able to miss, but still, we'll have to able to wait and find out to see what happens. And I get the feeling we need that particular enemy over there, the ones with the actual shield head on it, to toss it at the forms of that specific target, and boom. And that way it should lead us to, what else? Yet another bonus area. So yeah, suffice to say for this point, Knuckles, is that I'm pretty sure we're now in the actual halfway point in terms of the forms of the entire progression for Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, I'm pretty sure. Well, yeah, exactly, because after all, we've already accomplished 3 worlds so far, and this is now the 4th world in the game we dive right into, so... But either way, our puzzle piece has been claimed. But, yeah, speaking of which though, I've heard about something about the actual rumors been going on. Well, despite we don't trust the forms of rumors and leaks as much, but apparently though... Oh, please tell me, Sonic, is this all about the forms of my show coming up? Well, here's the catch though, Knuckles, is that we still have no idea when is your, the TV series will be able to be released on, because despite the fact that it never happened in last year, just because of the forms of the writer's strike, or in some cases though, the actors' strike, ever since in Journey forms of sometime in July 2023 or something like that, and then thankfully it did manage to wrap things up, everything in November sometime in 2023, so... Anyway, what about it? Well, because here's the thing, they've listed for about, oh, I don't know, 6 episodes or something, and they do have managed able to confirm their names, or bring up some name ideas for certain episodes, but there is that one in particular reference that did somehow caught me off guard whenever I looked upon the actual leak. And what is that exactly? Well, I have found, let's just say, some episodes named are The Flames of Disaster. Oh, don't tell me it's the Sonic 06 reference, isn't it? Yep, it sure enough was. Oh, gosh darn it! Why did they somehow manage able to say that reference there? Well, it's nothing confirmed, Knuckles, just yet though, just because no matter what though, it's all about speculating, as to be expected at this point, but either way, they also say, don't ever say, I wasn't there for you, and there's also the Warrior, and Reno Baby, and the Shabbat Dinner, and finally, what happens in Rono, stay in Renos, or anything else like that. I apologize for that mispronunciation of certain specific episode names, but again, it's just all about speculation at this point, especially nothing confirms yet, so... But still, it just takes a bit of time, so I guess you're able to wait on that for a while, Knuckles, until you're able to see your show in action, so at least specifically in Paramount Plus, so I just can't help it about the fact that I'm just so impatient. Well, because that's the thing, Knuckles, sometimes it just takes time, and sometimes it might take a very long time to produce, or other times though it might take a bit even longer to decide able to get the actual final confirmation for the actual release time, so, but still. Oh, that's that puzzle piece, no matter what. And I get the feeling that there's going to be another puzzle piece around here somewhere, once we slide all the way down to this bit. And, well, I can definitely see it from the far left, so we're able to try to obtain that. But, yeah, I guess there's nothing else I can really, say about this, I guess. I mean... Still, no matter what though, it's just about the fact that we still on the forms of the first month of the year after all, but regardless of such though, we're almost there to the second month in 2024, so at the very least our expectations might be a little bit high for ourselves, so... Alright, so as soon as we're able to collect all of these bananas in here, I'm sure enough there will be yet again a puzzle piece in here. And I'm afraid we've almost going to be run out of air, so we'll have to... Oh, okay. I guess that works out, I guess, to, able to actually get hit by the forms of those little, I don't know what these things are called to be exactly, but either way. Alright, at least we got the G here, so, either way, let's just, Be very careful not to get hit by these jellyfishes over here. And there we go. There's a bonus area just right into the actual right side of the actual screen. So, well, at the very least we can able to deal with this easier version of this trampoline bonus area. So, yeah, despite the fact that no matter what though, we still haven't got ourselves our partner companion with us, but still, we're just not able to do this the hard way, I guess. Ah, dang it. Come on. Grab this. Come on, there we go. Ah, 4 seconds to spare. Oh, wait. Alright, let's just do not die right there, because that will be pretty embarrassing if we die at the very end of the level. Well, thankfully though, Knuckles, that does not seem the case at all, despite the fact that we are still missing one piece. So, oh jeez, they are very, very well hidden, I will have to admit it though right away. Or perhaps even maybe we didn't pay attention to know of what exactly we're always expecting to do, so... Alright, so let's move on to 4-4, or in some cases 4-4, Arrate 8. So, I wonder what this level is going to be involved around in. Well, what I've noticed, it's going to be once again an underwater level, I'm pretty sure it is, so... yeah, nothing else I can say about it. But, anywho, there's also another thing I want to mention about this as well. Recently, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 has recently confirmed a new version update, and this time what appears to be by the forms of version 2.2.0. All it gets on this update is just basically just added in some new amiibo features, thanks to the forms of the most recent amiibo just recently came out. Not just for one, but 2-pack. So because of that, similar to the forms of how it does it for, you know, with the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate amiibo selections like, you know, Steve and Alex, and Pyra and Mythra, and on top of that with the forms of certain Metroid amiibo bundles as well, like, 2 of them from Samus Returns, and 2 of them from Metroid Dread. So, yeah, that's what I was going to be thinking about this for this point, Knuckles, but, hey. Alright, so it looks like we're just able to just dive right into the water itself. And just be very careful not to get hit by too many things, like some spiky stuff, as well as these little bombs, so... But, yeah, I suppose with that being said though, I think what it does manage to feature is for that particular amiibo functionality for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is just more cosmetic stuff, at least as far as I'm aware. Although, I might be wrong, but who knows. So anyways, the next thing I wanted to discuss is that by that time specifically until 5 days time, I think we might as well get ourselves some new information about the forms of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Oh, and what's that exactly? Well, basically what they're gonna do is that maybe they'll try to able to bring us into a new trailer of that game, or something like that, all thanks to the forms of one of those specific panels, or anything else like that. Like, it did say something onto the forms of the Twitter account, or should I say X, as far as what I was going to say just for this point right now, all comes from the forms of Dragon Ball games, and they did say this: the next Dragon Ball Battle Hour is just around the corner, so we'll be bringing your new news about the upcoming DLC for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, okay, and also they're going to be able to recently announce Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, so stay tuned. So, okay, that seems very exciting, to say the least, and they also did say about the forms of, for those who won't be attempting Dragon Ball games Battle Hour on site, a YouTube premiere will be set for Sunday, 28th of January, to reveal a new Dragon Ball Sparking Zero trailer. So, who knows, we might able to actually see some new playable characters, or potentially speaking though, we might able to actually get ourselves the actual release date for it. So, but of course time will tell though, especially concerning for the fact that we're still not exactly at Sunday just yet, because after all, we're still on the forms of the 23rd on Tuesday, January after all, so... But either way though, oh, it looks like we somehow gained chased by the forms of that familiar octopus monster ever since enduring the forms have been Donkey Kong Country Returns in the beach island, or just the beach world in general. So, in fact, the entire place of Sea Breeze Cove is almost like a beach environment. Well, except no matter what though, as you probably already expect, we have to do a lot of swimming involved in this world, so... Alright, back to more bouncy trampoline bonus kind of areas, so... But, yeah, that's as far as saying goes. In regards to the forms of news, announcements, and anything else like that we can probably discuss upon, that's as far as we can talk about. I mean, sure, there are some other touches I would like to point out, like, for instance, I get the strong feeling we're about to be going back onto Singapore Speedway from the likes of Mario Kart Tour, despite I don't feel like I was trying to play that game continuously, but that's just because we are pretty much screwed up when it comes to the forms of the stupid ranked cup system, as far as I'm aware. But at the very least though, Sonic, we actually got ourselves some pretty decent progression when it comes to leveling ups and such, so... Yeah, but still, I just can't sense enough about the fact that it's not that satisfying to able to just achieve something like this, because it's kind of feels a bit like a gamble fest to me. Even especially noticeable concerning I'm just still not a big fan of that game, but still. So of course, as soon as we get to this section right here, we're obviously gonna get chased by the forms of this particular octopus guy right here in the background, even though he was really trying to able to attack you this time, so but obviously if you're a little bit behind, then obviously you die instantly, so it's have to be swim a bit faster, so... And we're just gonna have to able to dodge those specific falling stuff. Also, I just realized that the entire background music on these sections, does it sound a little bit familiar to you, as for those of you who ever played Donkey Kong Country 2 before? Well, it could be, but Scott's able to just stay focused on this right now, because obviously if we do die, we have to start all over in this entire process again, so... But if you think this level decides to end, well, instead of that, we have to able to take down not one, but 3 bombs, as you can tell, by breaking those chains up. And as a result, not only does it finish off the octopus itself, but also the stage just somehow clears. So, yeah, and thankfully, no deaths on this stage. So, despite the fact that we just got hit a couple of times, mainly due to that chase sequence, but... Apart from that though, Sonic, we did accomplish that no problem. Yeah, exactly. So, I think what we're gonna do is that we're about to do 2 more levels, and once we're done with that, then we'll pretty much have to save up for the secret exits for next time. So, anyways, 4-5, C Stack Attack. Ooh, this sounds a bit interesting to say the least. So I suppose we're about to be able to go onto the surface at this point. And I get the feeling with this particular stage in mind that we have to get a lot of usage out of the forms of those melon bombs, because obviously, as you can tell, certain progression has been blocked by these crates. So what we're supposed to do is to able to toss the bomb right at the forms of those crates, and then we can able to continue our progression here. So yeah, for the most part, this stage is not too shabby for the most part anyway. It's just a matter of the forms of you know what I'm talking about. The puzzle pieces locations are pretty scarce. So, like this, for instance, that we need to bounce onto an enemy, and then that way, whenever we go into the cave, then obviously the bonus area will be, well, accessible. Well, you can also imagine able to try to do this with Dixie Kong with us, but unfortunately we've lost Dixie Kong, so... Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, you know, but regardless of such, we did somehow manage to do this the hard way by bouncing onto an enemy, and then you should able to make it possible to reach it up there, so... And I get the strong feeling we need to find about 7 pieces as far as I'm aware. Well, I suppose so. I suppose it doesn't matter for that particular reward. I think all he gets is just like more banana coins or just a banana bunch, nothing too special. Well, at the very least though, we got Dixie Kong back, so that's pretty cool to notice that. But, yeah, it's just about no matter what, though. This is where the point about the fact that we've almost running out of, clues of what we decide to talk about at this point. In regards to the forms of news, updates, or anything else like that, I'm afraid. I mean, sure, there are some interesting aspects we'd like to point things out. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure there is actually that particular discussion that, basically, whatever we do manage to find out, that, basically, one of those, let's just say, producers, or just, like, one of those persons in general called, Reichi, basically, Guy Ritchie is reportedly, he's no longer attracted to direct, the Hercules live-action movie. Oh, he's one of the directors, I think is what it says anyway. So, at the very least though, because we still prefer the original Hercules movie, just because, to me, it is super iconic, because obviously, I'm just not a big fan of those god dang live-action movies, because it is seriously getting tiring, but that's just me. But, also, what I've noticed is about the fact that, in regards to the forms of what's going to be the next new ideas they can probably think about, in regards to the forms of the next Mario Kart game for the next generation of consoles at the very least, that some people seem to suggest, when it comes to the forms of specifically with these new gimmicks, or the main gimmick they're able to bring in the next Mario Kart game, like, they did somehow suggest not only item frenzy, which is already established ever since the Mario Kart Tour, but also with the forms of the Wonder Effect, or portals. And I think a lot of people seemed able to vote for portals, because it'll make things a little bit more interesting. Well, we don't know exactly for sure just yet though, but regardless of everything else though, it's just about the fact that it's a bit of an early stage for this particular topic at this point. But still, no matter what though, it's just all about speculations, as we expect at this point. Like most any other days we can probably expect to believe, but still. And at this point in time though, Sonic, is that most of the worlds, including this world in general, goes by longer and longer and longer, to the point where the fact that if we dare try to find those, you know, all the puzzle pieces, and you name it, then obviously the entire experience will be a lot more lengthier, so... Well, to be expected at this point, Knuckles, because at the very least on the Switch version, you can obviously able to do is play on the go, which means you don't have to worry about just stuck inside indoors all day. Whilst compared to the Wii U version, you have to able to stay indoors until you're able to actually just to complete everything on the Wii U version, because obviously with the actual Wii U gamepad doesn't have the ability to able to give you the ability to take it on the go, because obviously unlike well, it's very similar from the sake of the forms of not just by the forms of probably remote play for PS3, PS4, or anything else like that, but it's also with the forms of PlayStation Portable, I guess. But either way, it's kind of tricky to say, because I know for a fact that we still haven't exactly mentioned anything in regards to the forms of PlayStation 5 for some time, since I'm pretty certain that Ray the Flying Squirrel has already established that specific topic earlier, so... Oh, and another thing too is about the fact that obviously you probably already know that The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered has already came out just recently on the PlayStation 5. No time to worry about this right now, Sonic, because we have this massive bomb to escape. Because if you let the bomb explode, you die instantly. So because of that, yeah, it's very obscure to able to notice what that was there. But regardless of such though, thanks for warning me for this point, Knuckles, because obviously if I got distracted, then obviously we have to do the entire stage all over again, which obviously that won't be fun. But regardless of such though, that's as far as we can able to describe about any of those things, despite the fact that, as you can tell, we are missing 2 pieces this time. So jeez, it's very similar to the forms of how it does on the first level, kind of thing about it, with Deep Keep. But regardless of everything else though, we got ourselves some pretty decent progression. I mean, after all, we still got all of the actual Kong letters at the very least, so that's something, alright? So we'll just do one more level for the time being, and that's what appears to be level 4-6, Current Capers. Ooh, I wonder what this particular level is going to be all about, huh? Well, at least as far as I'm guessing correctly for this point, Sonic, is that it involves around going for those specific water currents, at least as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I know that. Oh, I just realized that the weather condition right now is ridiculously blowy today. Like, I know for a fact that it's pretty much not safe when it comes to going out at the moment, so, but at the very least though, Sonic, is about the fact that we can able to just, you know, play some games from time to time, and, you know, just realize that music in the background, it sounds very familiar, as in Donkey Kong Country 1, for, specifically the underwater levels. I mean, sure, it's atmospheric, especially considering for the fact that I believe one of those composers did somehow managed able to get involved in this, just like the forms of how it does on the Super Nintendo games, I'm pretty sure. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but either way though, it looks like we're about to activate those little turning dials, so that way we can able to activate something in the background, so... And it looks like I get the feeling that we might try to grab all of these, collectibles in this specific section while trying to dodge those specific, spiky stuff like these urchins or something. So, yep, just as I thought, there's a puzzle piece right there in the center. If I can grab it. And, hopefully we should be able to continue things on here. Oh god. We need to activate all three of these, turning, dials or anything else like that. Oh jeez. I'm a little bit nervous. Oh, dang it! It was just at the last turning dial. Ah, so close. And to make matters worse, we don't have Dixie Kong with us. Oh, there was a puzzle piece there. Oh jeez, thanks for not telling me that. But at the very least, we did somehow manage to get that though, unlike the first attempt that we've got there, that we did somehow miss that out. Yeah, I know that. But at least, potentially speaking though, for this point, Knuckles, I am fully unaware that we pretty much now almost finishing up everything from, Seabreeze Cove. I mean, sure, the atmosphere is... Oh, you kidding me? Oh, good lord. And as we expected, the game's gonna get a little bit harder later on, so don't expect things to make things a bit too easy, so... Yeah, it's like not too hard, not too easy, it's just like a balanced kind of difficulty, but either way, let's try this again, shall we? Yeah, exactly. Alright, just gonna have to just... Ah, dang it! Okay, whatever. We'll just continue. We'll just continue, just in case if something goes wrong, then you know the suggestion. Alright, there we go. Now we can able to progress. It's a shame there's no checkpoint around here, like almost near to us, so you have to like go for a amount of those specific portions. I mean, either way, let's just not worry about this right now. But at the very least, we got the heart back. So that's something, alright. Well, there's a checkpoint right there, and I think I get this strong sense of feeling there might be something up there. But we can probably try to reach it with the actual roll attack with just Donkey Kong. In fact, let me just test this out. Yeah, we can do that, but we can't make it up there because I get the feeling we do need not only it could be either be Dixie Kong or Cranky Kong. So I suppose we'll bring Dixie Kong again because, you know, she's the best after all. So, yeah, let's pull this out to get the banana coin, as we expected, for it comes to likely getting such rewards like that, and sure enough, there's a puzzle piece. So I'm pretty sure we're now on 3 of those puzzle pieces right now, so, yeah, which is pretty much, you know, a lot more quicker than I was expecting. And we'll grab the banana bunch, and get blasted into the actual barrel cannon. And we're just able to try to avoid a lot of those urchins right here. I get the feeling there might be something in there, which as a result, not only does it contain 12 bananas in here, but if we collect them all, puzzle piece showed up. As to be expected. Oh jeez, we need more air. Come on! Oh. Come on, grab some more air. Okay. Oh, jeez. That was a close one. Alright, I get the feeling we need to grab this, O. And we'll wait here. Grab this heart. Yeah, it does manage to require a lot of concentration on these parts. Yeah, which is especially noticeable because like you said earlier, Knuckles, is that the game is gonna get a lot more difficult later on, but still, no matter what though, we're just gonna get, butt kicks no matter what. From those bunch of, spiky stuff here and there. Oh, you kidding me? We need more air. Come on. Oh, I missed the bubble. Okay, grab it, thank you. Oh my lord. Hopefully until the next world though, it won't be nearly as tedious as this. I mean, sure, again, like I said before, the actual world itself is very atmospheric, but it's just that I hate water so much. Like, it does kind of remind you of the forms of experiencing Labyrinth Zone for the first time. Yeah, exactly, but still. Well, at the very least, we'll bring Cranky Kong at the very least, so that's good to notice from the start. But just need to avoid those things here, and we somehow get to the bonus area. Oh, not this bonus area with the awkward barrel cannon section. Yeah, which is especially noticeable concerning for the fact that the last time we've experienced this, we've pretty much wasted a lot of time. Yeah, just because it requires a lot of, like, precisioning cannon firing. But, we've succeeded. Oh, wait. Oh, man. That was, something else. And I believe we've got every single puzzle pieces now, so that should be all good to go. So now we just need to get the, well, we need to grab this particular... Oh, jeez, that was close. We got the N. Now we just need to get the G, and then we should be good to go for the sake of current capers. Oh, jeez. We totally forgot about these little spinning blade stuff that somehow not only decided to close in itself, but also those individual soul gears to somehow try to kill us. But thankfully we've got the G, so at the very least we can now able to finish the level like so. Oh, come on. Okay, whatever. But either way, this stage is done. Whew. Yup. It's definitely a little bit tricky though, I'm not gonna lie, but regardless of such, we've accomplished everything. So, yeah, with that being said folks, it's now we get the ending of this point right here. So join us next time for more of Let's Play of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Is that, well, suffice to say, we'll go back to the first level to find the secret exit, and hopefully we should finishing up everything for Sea Breeze Cove. So we'll see you guys until on Thursday. Later folks.